it's convenient, not inconvenient. It's incredibly convenient to start the recording back again here and skipping the backtracking sequence. It appears everything went smoothly for you. Yes, it did. I'm so glad I called on you to help me clean up Eden. She's rather hardcore in her manner of speaking. So, although knowing how strong your bonds to her Digimon are, perhaps this end result was the work of fate. Well, she is kinda an oddball. She's an oddball. You should take that as a compliment. Well, yes, her dress is really weird. Regardless, thank you for all your hard work today. I expect great things from you going forward as well. Oh, you didn't think we were done with just this one hacker you took care of, did you? Sad to say, there are still numerous hackers out there who are mistreating their Digimon horribly. While you were out taking down that first hacker, I drafted up what you might call a hacker blacklist. Right now, there are 30 such outlaw hackers on the list. With this one, you just defeated, bumping the total number down to 29, which is a rather small number compared to real life. Just lastly, for example, Overwatch. Overwatch banned over several thousand accounts because of hacking. So, oh, you feel that the number is rather high? No, it's incredibly low. I assure you, I arrived at this final roster after only the most careful of deliberation. Rest assured, you won't have to search for all of the remaining hackers by yourself. I know you're only one person after all. Well, I am one person, but I'm an anime protagonist! On that note, have you tried out the Digimon farm yet? If you haven't, I suggest you do so post-haste. The reason for that is because if you order the Digimon on your Digifarm to investigate, they will find out where the other hackers are for you. Once the locations have been covered, I send them over to you right away as new cases to check. You can handle them the same way as today's. Don't underestimate the strength of your bonds with your Digimon. Big or small, each one will lend you their aid when you need it most. So please, do what you can to save those poor Digimon from the blacklisted hackers. I expect great things to come from this. Heh! Heh! Yeah. The problem is our Digimon are still training for an hour. So, well. Let's head back to our dear Lord Lady Waifu Kyoko. Logo Auto. And collect our money. I see you've been working hard for Mirai. Nice job. You two appear to be developing quite the unique dynamic, if I do say so myself. Well, I like her. A new case. Urgent case from Mirai. This is very urgent. There are malicious hackers. Will you teach them a lesson? Sure. Why not? For kinda $30, I want to do so. I will just jump directly into Kowloon. I think the hacker will be in Kowloon too, but this is just guessing. But let's have a look and talk to Mirai. No. Yes. Greetings, fair lady. Were you supposed to get a sudden case from me? My apologies for that. However, it has to do with the blacklisted hackers we discussed earlier. Well, it's kinda a minute ago, so. Some unusual hackers have appeared in Eden. These ones don't belong to any of the major hacker groups, but what makes them unusual is that rather than being alone, these three are always together. And with those greater numbers comes greater trouble for people and Digimon alike. I did want to say greater responsibility to make a Spider-Man reference, but what they do is pretty standard hacker fare, but we can't ignore that this is a group of them either. Left unchecked, they could very well grow. If we don't nip this in the bud before they form into a proper hacker team, that would well spell trouble if you try dealing with them later, no? Yeah. That's why I sent this case in as an urgent one. I need you to hurry up and take care of them before they can multiply. They are talking about hackers like some sort of malicious animals or some ill-breeded bacteria. Well, it's Kowloon 1, okay. Sorry, I mispredicted this one. But I don't mind, because the elevator is just back here. So I was almost correct. The problem is we start rather in the middle of Kowloon 1, so we again need to guess. Do we need to move forward or backwards? But I would guess we need to move forward to reach the hacker we need, or we are looking for. And on our way, we are training a little bit, but the Digimon down here are not that great of a farming livestock variation thing, however you want to call it. Training down here is useless, because we are strong enough to... Okay, I mispredicted again, so let's head back. Let's head back. Go. Her walking cycle looks also rather bumpy, to put it this way. Okay, our nightmare, dream paralyzed demon, sunflower monster will do the job. It will do the job. It is a nightmare sleep. It's a sleep paralysis demon. Yeah, it is. Then we have the Godamon and the Babamon, and they all are going to die. It survived. Ha, intriguing. You're a strange one, I like it. But you have to die. So sorry. Sorry about that, little guy. One important question. Does a Tokumon... Does it have any bones inside? Or is it just a pleb of pudding? It seems to have not a single bone within its body, so... Well, within its body. Wait, aren't those three guys? Are there three guys? Oh gosh. But well, it's not inconvenient at all to face this mini Devimon. It's a Demi-Devimon, I remember. A Demi-Devimon, because we can use its data to create a Demi-Devimon, which will later on eventually become somewhat useful. So... Our Botamon is complete. Repent! My older brother's gonna swoop it down. Avenge me! I think, and now I'm here predicting again, that it's a progressive quest. So, we encountered our first back here, so we will encounter the second here. And the last one will encounter the last area. I think so. So let's... I don't want to talk all this text, because it's not important at all. These side quests are also important because you get data from rather rare Digimon, and also they are useful, even if we are not developing them into proper Digimon. The fact that we have data from them helps us to recognize them in the Digivolution screen. Because normally we have these shadows, and these shadows are, well, most of the time you can kind of recognize the Digimon, but there are some cases where you, well, are not able to find out anything about the Digimon because you can't recognize the shadow and the silhouette. And if we have data from the Digimon, it's not a shadow anymore, which is incredibly useful. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to hear your whole life story. Those are interesting ones. Because those are normally the bad guys. Or at least in the anime. Those are the bad guys. Almost every virus Digimon is a bad guy in the anime. So, well, whatever. But I think I used one of those in my former team, but I can't really remember. I can't really remember which Digimon I had. Because I know I had a Rosemon, I had a Macedmon, I had the Omnimon. Yeah. Very important. Very important. Don't talk to me anymore! So we are done now. So we can head back to Midday. Can't remember every Digimon I had last time playing through. Which is sad. But well, whatever. I'm pretty sure I will create a team equally good enough and enjoyable enough to play this playthrough. It's not that hard of a game. There is some endgame content, and I also want to tackle this. There are some quests in the endgame which are rather difficult, even for well-trained Digimons. So you need to think about which Digimon you take with you and how to equip them, etc, etc, etc. I see. So they were 3 siblings. Had we left them alone, I doubt they would have opted to grow beyond that then. But this way we've killed 3 birds with 1 stone. We've killed them! We've killed them! And managed to make them change their minds before it was too late, so I'm content. I imagine it was hard work making it all happen. Not really. But thanks for doing it. Once again, fate remains on our side. On your side, I'd say. You'll find your reward back at your office. In form of perfectly brewed black coffee. So, who's messaging me right now? I had a crazy dream last night. I was like, shoot, I forgot it. I wonder what kind of dream it was. No, I don't. I don't care at all. Leave me alone with your dreams. Stay away from me. I wanna go home to my sweet darling Kyoko and obtain the quest reward. Oh yeah, our Cyber Sleuth rank. Mira is always an abrupt woman, I won't deny that, but she's always doing favors for us, so it's worth repaying her kindness whenever we can. Yes, well. Time Capsule Snow Woman, and wow, mysterious digital face. It's not important which quest we'll do first, but we got this one later, so I would say we just use this one. There's something wrong with the air conditioning in Broadway. Find the cause. we can get farm expansion plugin. This is good because these farm expansion plugins increase our farm. Now we get an additional farm for more Digimon. From what I gather, the air conditioning inside Nakano Broadway is on the fritz. I've never heard this expression before, but well, whatever. It just keeps pumping in cold air constantly, and nobody can switch the heating on. The thing is, nobody can find anything wrong with it, and the businesses are lost about what to do. That's where we come in. People aren't getting much work done, so I told them to leave it to us. If you can get to the bottom of this mess, I'm sure they'll just love us for it. A typical Kyoko message. Oh, it's our waifu from before, from earlier. Huh? You keep getting transmissions from someone? Huh? Huh? Well, isn't she a cutie? She's such a shipping lord. It's incredible. The white noise in this is really bad. I can't make out what she's saying. Where's this coming from? Where's this coming from? Damn, cut out. Well, what? You're saying the same transmission came in where it was cold? We might be closing in on the cause. If so, our next step is to resolve this thing. Plain and simple. I'm going to see if I can figure out the signal's origin. You ask around about the air conditioning. The air conditioning. Okay. For this we will start well, here. I know I want to start at the 4th floor because I want to use the elevator more often. Because there was a side quest concerning the elevator here, and I don't know if it just triggers when you use the elevator sometimes. But it seems like that there is nobody is interested in us, which is sad. I never really understood what some of those stores are. We could have a stroll around, but well, Fantasy Mansion, for example. What is Fantasy Mansion for a store? Is it a theater? Is it a movie store? Something like that? I don't know. I just don't know. Japanese stores are strange. I mean, this looks like a gaming store. This actually looks like a GameStop. And this looks like some figurine. No, it's a trading card shop. It even is written at the corner below, above us right now. It's a Yu-Gi-Oh shop. Well, nobody wants to talk to us, which is sad. I think I. Huh. Maybe in the cafe? Ah, look at our friend here. You wanna know how the AC broke? Beats me, I have no idea. It's odd. We don't have a central unit anymore. So how could everyone's AC go out? Huh? You don't know about the central unit? Back when this place first opened, there was a big underground unit that controlled the AC for the whole building. Sure feels like the old central unit going out. The way it worked was that every store circulated the cold air up to the stores with fans. Why was there a central unit underground at all? Well, that was to refrigerate a certain something. Aha! What do you think it was? It was Japan's oldest vacuum tube computer. Can you believe it? The room the computer was housed in was right here in Nakano. Sad to say, I have no idea what happened to it. There's nothing left for it anymore. And even if there were, there are no records left. Nobody remembers where it was either. The room itself might as well be an urban legend. Oh, those urban legends are pretty interesting because we'll work with those a lot later on. And there's one incredibly good side story concerning an urban legend, which is incredibly well made for a game like this. I can tell you one thing, it's really cold. Although it's done wonders for coffee sales lately. I figured out where the signal came from, so get back to the office when you can, alright? So let's head back to our girl. Nice work with your investigation. Now what have you got to report? Huh, this is the first I've heard of the computer room, but with that info, it's all starting to click for me now. Like I mentioned before, I figured out who the girl in those transmissions is. Her name's Fuyume Yuki. Yuki means snow, so it's kinda related. She was a breakout idol from a few decades back. What we've been seeing, the avatar on the screen, is her when she was in her prime as an idol. Somebody is therefore using a terminal inside Nakano Broadway and broadcasting her likeness. And the signal seems to be coming from the 4th floor. Looking at the map, it's right inside the wall at K Cafe. Well, it's strange because we were at K Cafe, then we needed to head back, and then now we need to... I'm pretty happy that there's an elevator. Without an elevator... The whole thing has played out like a horror story, hasn't it? Not yet. A long-lost idol relaying her message from inside a wall. But with your report, it's all coming together now. We've uncovered a piece of Nakano Broadway history that not even the owner of K Cafe, as the go-to historian, could claim to know. But enough talk. It's time to head back to K Cafe. I'll be coming along for this one too. She just wants coffee. I'm pretty sure she wants coffee. I got a message from a girl, and when I answered it, it got cold all of a sudden. It's the Snow Woman. Which would be in Japanese the Yuki Onna. Ha! Japanese student! Woo! She's cursed us. It has to be her. I can hardly believe it, but it definitely has been really chilly in here. I've got a bad feeling about this. Maybe I'll just go home. Well, it is a mall. It's not... I don't care if my mall has freezing temperatures. Well, the Snow Woman. The... Mo? The Mo. I don't really know what this means. Sure, it does fit with that folk tale. Though, even the idol's name, Fuyume Yuki, means winter snow woman. Fuyume. I mean, Yuki means snow. Yeah, I know it. Fuyume does mean winter some way-ish, I think. But, well, there's no woman within this, so... I think. Or maybe I'm just talking... Yeah. Snow Woman, which would be a Yuki Onna. Onna for Onna, O-N-N-A for woman. Herself shows up in a lot of stories from regions with cold climates. Hokkaido, for example, which is the most northern island of Japan. Main island. Definitely the first time she's taken form as an old 80s idol. But it's pretty fitting for Nakano Broadway, all things considered. Still, if we don't act quickly, she's going to damage this place's reputation. So let's get a move on already. Well, not really. It's incredibly hard to damage one's reputation just by lowering the temperature through the AC. But well. Could it be that Kyoko is an incredibly tall woman for Japanese circumstances? But look at those legs. This woman is a giant. Compared to this girl, compared to us, she's half a head above us. But we do have a larger breast, I think. Okay, we are wearing a bra, so... Okay, this is it. The transmission should be coming from the other side from here. Yet there's no door and there are no signs of the wall being tampered with. What's going on here? Here we have our Yuki Onna. Another transmission that just about confirms we're at the right spot. And with her godlike smile. I don't like the looks of this. It's like she's noticed us trying to meddle with her, and now it's even colder. Well, I am wearing a t-shirt. You are wearing almost nothing. You're probably less affected by her tricks, thanks to your unique body. Well, I am a bunch of data. And I am wearing a t-shirt, and not yeah. Oh, did you find something? I see. So there's an entry point into cyberspace inside that wall. Don't worry about me. You go on ahead and get it there. Well, I can dive head first into the cyberspace. She can't. Let's have a quick look-see around. How did... Ah. I forgot the key. Open up! Firewall! I don't know if this is optional or not. But let's have a look-see at the map and we can see, yes, this was optional. We got a little potions! Potions! Maybe I can turn the volume a little bit more quiet. Adjust it a little bit. And off we go. This is not the most difficult dungeon in the world, so we should do just fine. And here we have also a connection point for the Digilab. If we would want to adjust our team. I got him on! And the Tsunamon! And you can finish one of those off. Kill it! Kill it with bubbles! And there we get hit. And there we hide back. Bite back. And we won. This little jelly thing. Okay. My throat is killing me. Oh well. We can use this. We do have a little equipment. Which we can use. I mean, those are the DLC things. And those are not able to wear any equipment at all. I want to set this in the middle. Do I have an accessory? No. I don't. So let's move on. And there we have our boss, which we will tackle in the next episode of the YouTube thing and in a couple of minutes live here. So thank you all for watching and till next time for YouTube.